Turn this way here. So from the different positions that you can go into the foot lock from the guard, for example, would be one way to do it. So you're here, the arm, stand up. Let's first keep your legs crossed for a second. Let's assume that your partner has the legs crossed like this. And you get up. It's important that you find a way to make him uncross the legs, because if his legs stay crossed and I walk away, he keeps the legs with me. So let's suppose he has one hand on the collar. Okay, I want to bug his neck a little bit to force him to defend. When he does this, I'm going to put this back leg in between his legs, take a step back in base, set up the foot, once again, right by the Achilles tendon, hand on his shin, the other hand on my wrist, and then arch back. So here. At any time, the person, if I wiggle my body like this or bug his neck, and as he blocks, he defends, he uncrosses his leg, take a half a step back, placing your knee between his legs, step back in base, and with this arm here, always keeping his leg trapped, because you don't want his foot to get away. So at this point here, keep this close together. Now the foot's trapped. Secure the wrist, cinch up right by the Achilles tendon, and then arch back. Here. Put the leg between his legs. Then take a step back. This leg holds him away from you. He can't get any closer. Then your arm goes around, secure his foot, grab his shin, and squeeze back. The plan is to bring your hand this way. That's what you're looking for. This is the kind of adjustment you want. Not somewhere on the calf, but real close to the Achilles tendon, right on top of it. This way, this hand goes on his shin, and the other hand on your own wrist. So that when you arch your back backwards, you force the guy's foot to bend back that way. That's the plan. Okay, let's turn this way here one more time. So you're in this position. Control the arm. Stand up. Bug his neck. Sometimes, cross your legs again for a second. Sometimes the guy will keep the legs crossed and I'm bugging his neck here. I'm going to use one hand to choke him and this hand hold back on the cloth. He's defending there. He's still resisting. When I put that back knee between his legs, I kind of force him to open the leg. You can also do the same foot lock sitting down. Bring the leg around. Bring the arm around his leg like this. Bring your foot up here to the waist immediately, because if you don't, he's going to get close to you here and, kind of cancel your move on the foot lock. So the foot holds him from getting any closer. Once again, be aware of the position of the arm. It's way under the Achilles tendon. Put your hand on his shin. Keep either your knees together or put your foot on the bend of his knee. The idea is to kind of hold him away from you. From this position here now, you can just arch back and you get the result you want. A lot of times when a person is applying the foot lock, they make a crucial mistake here, which is this. As you go for the choke, the person blocks in there, you put your knee, and then you sit back right here. He now stays so close that he has the chance to keep up and either come up on top of you or just keep the leg so close that you can't stretch yourself away from him. This is what you should be thinking about doing. Get up, bug the neck, put your knee between his legs, take a step back. Don't just sit straight down, because it allows him to stay too close. You go straight down, but right before your bottom touch the ground, this leg pushes me back, so my body is straight up. So by the time I lean back, I have that much leverage to go. One more time. Boy, step for a second over here. Watch this. So I got up. I'm bugging his neck, so he has to defend the choke. I'm gonna, from this position here, once he uncrosses the legs, or almost about forcing him to open the legs, I put my knee between his legs. Then I take a step back. This arm is strapping his back foot. I'm going straight down, but now this leg pushes me back. So that my body, by being straight up like this, I have that much more leverage to crank his foot. Whereas if I stay here, squeeze his neck, and sit straight back, I'm already off balance. I'm already lost my ability to stretch the foot back. So be sure that you get the mechanics down really good. Is bug his neck, open his leg with the knee between his legs. And then when you go down, this leg pushes you back. So that you can be sitting straight up, secure his foot, place your foot on his hip, and then lean back. Go easy on his foot, huh? All right. Lay down, hoist, please. So from this position here, you grab the collar, you stand up. You want to bug his neck, yes, and all the time controlling this. The reason the hand is bugging his neck is because if the guy holds on to the collar and you try to go for the foot lock now, he's okay, you can't keep him away from you. It's not going to work as good. So be sure that you find a way to make his hand let go of the collar. And this is why we have this move. Now his hands are here, saving his neck from being choked. Now I step back with his leg, after putting my knee between his legs here. And as I go down, I push myself way off. What ends is exactly right on the very end of the foot right here. That's what I'm looking for, the Achilles tendon. As soon as I land on the ground, this foot comes up. This leg, either you adjust by keeping both legs hugged together like this, or place your foot on the bend of his knee to keep his whole body away from you. Cinch this thing up. Be sure his foot is way up, like a choke. Because if he leaves a little bit loose, you don't want to be pressing this part and allowing his foot to slip out. If it's too loose, this kind of thing goes on. So bring it up, cinch it way up. Hand on the wrist or on the collar. And then stretch back so that your whole body is what does the stretching. All right. Another variation for the foot lock that works well too. Cross your legs, please. So when I'm in this position, stand up. And sometimes the guy opens the leg like this, okay? Instead of sitting back like we just did, in this case, I want you to do this. I want you to keep the legs, his legs strapped with your arms and your knees. Everything is kind of squeezing this together to force his feet outwards. From this position here now, I want you to take a couple of steps and walk forward. As you walk forward, be sure to allow your opponent space for him to kind of lead him to one side. You don't want to go too straight on his neck. You want to kind of take a half a step to an angle to the side. From here, let your knees collapse. Put your hands on the ground and find yourself with this. The hands are here so that he doesn't throw your head on the ground. Establish your base first. Put your leg up, and again, separate the foot, isolating the arm, and then cranking the guy back this way. Once again, please hoist. All right, so from here, stand up, you bug his neck a little bit, he opens the legs, right here. From this position, take a couple of steps forward, and like I said, if you go too much straight forward, the guy's gonna panic and just explode. You don't know which way he's gonna go. Whereas if you kind of lead him to one side and choose one side, it's easier for him to push on the way you wanna go. You kind of end right here. Keep one leg up. After you establish your base, bring the hand around the foot, just like we did before. Cinch it up really good. Hand on the shin, on the wrist, and then arch back. Let's do it. All right. The tricky part on this move is when you walk up, you have a good base here and have your hands. So if the guy tries to throw you around, push you back, whatever it is, let's grab my feet to push him back, please. I'm in base here. I can only walk upwards, and now my hands are here, bracing my fall. Allow yourself a moment to establish this position. Leg up, bring your hand around the foot, grab your collar if you want, and then arch back. Let's see this move again from another angle. Let's turn this way, please. He opens the legs. My legs will squeeze his knees in so his feet will stick out. From here, take a couple of steps forward. Put your hands on the ground. End up with this. Put one leg up. Wrap his arm really snug. Hand on the shin, on your wrist, and then arch back. One more time, please, hoist. Stand up. Bug the neck. Okay. Grab my feet, push me back, please. Base here. Bug the neck. Walk up. My knees will fall forward. Hands on the ground. Brace yourself. Leg up. Secure his foot, and then arch back. All right. Sometimes when you're in the process of passing the guard, your opponent will open the legs like this or have his foot around, something like this. What you want to do is that you want to get a grip on his pants like this. Okay, cinching it up tight. Make the leg to the side and get to the side. That's one way to pass the guard, standing up. Once you get this position here and you have your knee on his stomach, a lot of times the guy's going to keep the leg up like this. All you have to do is sit, secure the wrist, the foot again with your arm, and either go for the foot lock right here or sit back, holding him away from you like this. Plant your foot on his leg, adjusting the leg way up down on his foot, the arm way up down on his foot, and then cranking it back this way, either this or grabbing the collar any way you want, just kind of cinching it up tight, and then bring it back to stretch the guy's foot. One more time then. So you get to this, he's able to put the foot, free his legs, have his legs all over the place. Now you grab the cloth, both sides, walk away from him, shake the leg, fake him out, and put your foot in here. That's the plan. Get to this position. He's got the legs sticking up like this. So now you're going to isolate the foot, sit back, and then plant your foot right here. The other leg goes in here, and then stretch back. One more time, please, hoist to the other side. The guys have the legs open. Get a hold of the cloth here and here. Shake him out. Put your hand on the stomach. Establish your position here. The foot sticking up. Get the foot, sit back. Bring your leg above by his waist so he can't get any closer. Put your other foot on the bend of the knee here if you want. And either grab your collar or your wrist. And then lean back, stretching his foot backwards. Sometimes, after you get to this position here, you push the leg and you get across this side like this. The guy keeps the leg sticking up like this. And you can also grab his foot, put your hand like this, and just crank it up like this and twisting his foot backwards. One hand here and here, or like this, whichever one you want. It might give you a better leverage because you grab this way. 1, 2, and then crank the foot back. Keep your knee on your stomach, and almost as if you want to lift him up by the foot, kind of stretching his foot back, bending the foot this way. So I'm here, you lift the foot up, right in here, and then crank it up. So I'm here. We have the option, if the leg is sticking up, to either do this move and sit back, or get the foot like this, then bend the foot backwards. Like I said, the idea is to have one hand here, the other hand here, and then twist his foot this way. Okay. Foot lock can also be used when you're on the bottom. Check this out. So the person is mounted on you, has got a wide base like this, and the legs kind of spread out. You work on your way into the elbow escape, which is using this elbow under his leg. After your knee gets into here, You can push him away, bring the back leg over, isolating him away from you. And what's left is his foot for the foot lock. So once again, you keep your legs together, cinch up the foot, and then arch back. One more time, please. So from here, he's got a wide base, lots of space in between the legs and everything. I want to bring this knee underneath his leg. So I'm going to use my elbow to lift his leg up and scoot my hip back, bring my knee through here, and then with my hands kind of create a little extra space between him and I. Now this hand I'm going to put here, this foot I'm going to put here. It feels like a hand. Put the foot here, push the guy away, and this hand now separates the foot, cinching it up right by the Achilles tendon. Be sure to snug both legs together. This foot maintains him away, reach upwards. Keep him away from you, and you hold your wrist, and then arch back. One more time, please, to the other side. So either side, go like this, use your elbow, bring your knee under, push him away so that you can bring your foot from the top. Foot now sits here by his waist. Push him away from you, and with this hand, go around the leg. Adjusting right by the Achilles tendon. Hand on his chin, the other hand on your wrist. Keep your legs together, and then arch back to stretch the ligament on the foot. If the person is here, and he has the hand on the collar, and he puts the leg up, okay? I had turned my arm like this sideways. He's bugging the neck like we saw earlier, and I defend it. He brings the hand under my arm. I'm going to turn sideways facing him again, as we talked about before. As you face the man now, it's time to plant your foot on the ground, scoot your hip away, and as your hip moves away, it carries his foot with you. Brace him with this arm. The knee comes through in the middle, and there's the foot lock again, right here. 1, 2, and then stretch back. So he puts the leg up, he's doing this move here. From this position, you want to plant your foot, scoot the hip away, use this elbow to kind of brace him away with the arm so that you can just create this much space. Bring your bottom knee through, top leg goes over here, push the guy away from you, and with this hand, once again, secure the foot by the Achilles tendon, adjust your legs, and then stretch back with your whole body. The other side, please. Let's just move here. Scoot your hip away. Plant your foot on the ground. Let's turn this way a little bit. Hoist. See, the trick is to plant this foot on the ground so that you can swivel your hip away. I put my weight on my foot and on this shoulder so that my body can just move away. The bottom knee comes under through here. The top leg is in there. Foot on the hip. Push him away. Move your body as much as you need to get space to bring your hand under. Squeeze your knees together and then arch back. Let me do this one last time, please. Turn around, Hoist. So from here, he puts the leg up. I'm going to plant my foot on the ground. Scoot my hip away. I'm going to use the elbow to keep him away and the hand. Bring my knee through. Top leg goes over right here on the ribs, on the bottom of the waist. Scoot my hip back. Wrap that leg around. Cinch it up. Keep your knees together. And then arch back. Another way to apply the foot lock from when you're on the bottom is this one. Check it out. So the guy's in your guard like this. You bring your leg under and around. Push him away from you. Separate the foot, and then down he goes. Adjust and foot lock this way. So let's get up. He's in here. Uncross your legs. Bring your leg under, all the way around. Hook the leg, push him back. Establish your foot here. If you need to scoot your hip away, do it. Wrap the foot, cinch it up, and then arch back. So the guy gets up, bring your leg down, hook the leg, push his knee back, wrap the foot around, cinch it up, hand on the shin, and then stretch back. One time for his voice. Leg goes around, trap it here. This foot pushes his knee away. Can't walk. Wrap the arm around the leg, cinch it up, scoot your hip back, keep the leg holding him away from you so he can't get any closer, and then arch back. Trap the leg and place your foot right here on his hip. The other leg pushes his knee back, and when he's go down, his leg is strapped, he can't get his leg out. Now from here you can put your hand, scoot your hip away if you need to, cinch up the foot, keep him away from you, just the leg, and then stretch back. One left side, on this side please. So from here, bring the leg under and trap the leg, going around. This is the idea, trap the leg around. Put this foot on his knee, push him away. On the ground, scoot your hip away, cinch up that foot way up. Either grab the collar or you put your hand on your shin, then stretch back. Now that you have seen how to apply the foot lock, let's make sure you know how to defend the foot lock. Okay? Please. Okay, as we talked about, the idea is to get the foot this way, place your foot at the waist of your adversary, and then either put your foot this way or keep your knees together like that. And the plan is to do this move. What you should try to do at this point, or a little bit earlier than that in fact, is to get a hold of the person's collar. You know, just get a hold of the collar. And as soon as you can, kick your foot in a little bit, right, as much as you can. This way, it takes me away from that perfect angle that I could to stress the ligaments on your foot. But now that you have kicked your foot in, go ahead, hoist. If you do this a little bit, I no longer have the same position that would be so painful. So by kicking the foot in, I now, with the hand here, I can't stretch back. If I'm keeping my knees together, lift his hand for a second. If I'm using this approach where my knees are squeezing your leg like this, Hoist has one hand on the collar, the second hand he pushes my foot out of the way, preventing me from pushing you back. And while he rests the weight on my foot downwards, he now sits over the leg, always continuously pushing this foot as much as he can in, so it takes me away from the chance of squeezing the foot. He now steps the other leg over and goes to the mounted position like this. Once again, please. I want to move back a little bit. There you go. So if the person has you on the foot lock like this and is working this, the first thing is to kick that foot in. Even if it's a little bit, makes a huge difference. He now changes hands, dislodges my foot with his hand. So now, by putting the weight on that foot, I can't bring my leg up and push him back anymore. He kind of keeps my foot away. Not only the hand on the weight of his hand on my foot keeps my foot here, but also he's going to use this so that he can move his hip over, like that, sitting over the foot. Continuously pushing this in as much as he can so that I can't squeeze anything anymore, and he's out, going to the mounted position. If instead of having my legs hugging his knee this way, I have done the option of keeping my foot on the bend of his knee like that. Tell you what, let's do this way. There we go. I'm doing this move here like this. He again wants to grab the collar, but this time he's going to get a hold of that hand, pull my foot out of the way this way, and then sit up like this, moving towards me, which again takes me away from pushing him back. Takes the chance away from him pushing him back. So if I'm doing this move here, I'm getting ready to squeeze his foot. He reaches for the collar. With the other hand, he takes the foot away. Put the knee on the ground. Come up. Now, either I'm going, again, hoist one last time, please. So I got him here. The foot is keeping the distance.
If I don't have the collar, I can't reach for the collar, use your elbow to knock his foot out, lift his foot up, fold the leg. Now I can reach.
Now he's got distance to get close. Great. One more time, please.
So if I can't reach,
take the foot out of the way.
sit up.
Great. Now, once you are this close here, if I insist on the foot lock, I'm too close. He can't, I can't squeeze anymore. If I try to push him away, I have to let go of the foot. So in either case, you're free. We'll try. One more time, hoist, please. So I'm here. I got the guy in this position here. He takes the foot out of the way. See, if I try to keep him away, I no longer have the foot lock. Kind of kicks it in. So kind of in a way cancels the foot lock ability here at this point. So if I have it here, one last time, she does this move. Actually, I'll tell you what, why don't you turn sides here with me for a second. There you go, right here. So I have this foot, and here, he kicks the heel away, takes the foot up and come up. Now plants his foot on the ground, and I can't stretch anymore. My back is on the ground, I can't squeeze anymore. And he's so close here, he's already into another position at this point. Once again, from this side, I have my knees like this. He grabs the collar, pushes the foot away, knee on the ground, and then come back up, ending up in the mounted position. All right. If the person is on the guard like this, and from here, I try to bring my leg under, what you have to be careful with is walk up to make sure that I don't have the chance to push you away. And keep your balance here, bring your weight down, yes. Prevent, yes, stay real close, maybe put your knee on the ground, whatever it takes. Just stay close to the guy at this point. So back to this again, please. So from here, if I'm thinking about bringing this leg under, to do this move before I throw you on the ground.
Never let go of the collar.
Yes, get a good grip on this cloth. If the guy tries to push you away, you stay with him, keeping the distance close. He can't do anything anymore. It's so close, he can't throw you off balance. And just keep this base here until you get this low. Let's do that one and then walk up to the head. So in essence, anytime a person is trying to catch you in a foot lock, what you want to do is that you want to maintain a close distance to him, holding on to the collar so that he can't create space and kind of keep your foot isolated from the rest of your body. So if I do this move here, I got up, and I'm thinking about walking up, this hand here prevents me from having this space. Now, I can't do this anymore. He always here with me. I can't, let go for a sec. If you don't have this hand, I can't do that move we talked about. But by holding on to this, I don't have the space anymore. I have to do something else. And if you have the hand on the collar, the guy tries to sit back. Oh, there's always a hand here to protect your foot. Sits back, hoist, go over the leg. Yes. And then come on up into the mounted position again. If I'm here, it's got a wide base. If I try to do this one here, the elbow escape. To do this move here, hand on the collar, dislodge the foot, come on up, over the leg, into the mounted position. One more time, please, the other side. Yeah. As I push him away, bring the leg over, the hand goes to the collar, keeping the distance close. Dislodge the foot, hand on the ankle, step over, kicking this foot in always and staying close to him. Maintaining the closeness, that's the trick. If the guy wants to do this move here, keep the hand on the collar so that he can't push away. If I put my foot on the leg, doing this move, pull the leg up, goes to his knee, comes back up again,
If his foot is on my hip, I'll switch hands, use the elbow to knock that foot out.
Once again.
Did you move?
If I go for this move, I'm bringing the bottom knee through, and I'm bringing this leg over. Hand stays on the collar.
The secret is always keep it here.
One hand on the collar.
One hand always on the collar. If the foot's on my hip, I'll switch hands, knock that foot out. Come on.
If I may do this move here,
Foot on my knee.
change hands.
So the secret for the escape for the foot lock is always stay next to the guy.
Real close.
Don't give it to him the distance.
The next position is when you find yourself, like we talked about, with the knee on your opponent's stomach like this, and he raises the leg. Okay? You sit up.
I should never lift my leg up.
Well, that's right, Hoist. The first thing you should keep in mind is that you don't want to expose yourself to the foot lock by keeping your leg up. So ideally, if you can keep your foot down, the chance for the foot lock now don't exist anymore. However, some people do that, you know, Hoist. They lift their leg up like this. And if I go for the foot lock like this, as I move back into this position here, I'm going to bring my leg up and put the foot here. That's what I'm aiming for. One thing you can do is push the guy's foot and catch him on the foot lock. That works really good too. Yes. So if I have my foot on your waist like this and I have this foot on the knee, one thing that you can do is bring the leg right across. Yeah. And then stretch back. And the reason being is your leg being straight has a certain amount of length to it. And when I put my leg and I cross the leg, it kind of shortens the distance. So even though the legs are the same size, when this one is shorter, if it's bent, it loses distance. So if my foot's like this straight and Hoist brings it across, that curve that my leg makes keeps my foot shorter, therefore giving him a better chance to squeeze my foot before I get to his foot. And it usually gives him a chance to kind of kick his foot in a half an inch too, just enough to get me off. And this curve that's happening here now makes my foot hurt first, so be aware of that one. And of course, let's do this again, Hoist, please. So from here, ideally you want to keep your foot down, right? But if the person goes for your foot lock like this, because you made a mistake and you left your leg up, you can bring the leg across, lay back a little bit.
Push, lay back.
That's right. Good move ahead. Once again, let's explain this.
Instead, try to push his foot across, will be stuck. Move your body out of the way.
There you go.
Catch it.
Right. Okay. Once again, please. So clear your body back, push the foot across, and then complete with the foot lock that way. All right. And one more time, please. And the other thing we talked about here is this foot lock. That again, only if you leave the foot like this, I'm going to have a chance to catch it. If you keep your leg down, there's no such a thing. I mean, the guy can't just try to get that foot. You have too much of opportunity to notice that. So from here, he goes for this and sit back. You can either do this move here and switch side with him, or you can again grab the collar. If my foot's on the leg, pull the foot up, go to your knee, go on top of him, right? And then go to the mounted position. All right, we have to make one comment about another situation. Lead on, please, for a second. You go for this, you go to the foot lock here, and you find yourself in this position, okay? Like we talked about before, the idea is to have the arm wrapped around the leg this way to do this move with the foot lock. There is, however, an ankle lock, which is when you bring your arm this way here, securing the guy's leg the same way, and torquing it inwards, like to torque the leg this way. It's an extremely dangerous move that in Jiu Jitsu tournaments and in sportive tournaments is not allowed, only in professional fights. The reason it's not allowed is that before it hurts your person's leg or knee, it's going to break the ligaments. So the consequence of the thing is that before the guy feels the pain, it's going to cause, serious damage to the ligaments on the knee. So this is not permitted in Jiu Jitsu tournament, in the sportive tournaments. I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that, so that when you see this kind of thing here, be extremely careful with that, because once the person grabs their foot like this, it cranks, it hurts very much here first, before, as I said, you feel the pain on it. So you think you're resisting, your ligament's already gone, and you then feel the pain, it's too late. So that's the move here. You should be aware of it, but we recommend that you're extremely careful when practicing this stuff. Another way to get your opponent into a foot lock when he's mounted on you is like this. He has the hand on the collar, he puts the leg up, you bring your arm under, turn your body sideways, and start working on scooting the hip away. When the top knee comes under, and you start lifting him over, sometimes he wants to resist and stay on top of you. You move your body away, bring the top leg over from behind, push the guy away from you, and you're gonna find yourself with his foot here. You could actually roll over, put your hand on the ground, stand up, and then end up with this move right here. Here. So he does this, puts the leg up, bring your hand under, turn your body sideways. Brace the foot, scoot your hip away, bring the knee in. The leg that's gonna go over, push the guy aside, plant your foot, scoot your hip back, leg comes up, holding your opponent away from you. Bring the hand around, and you can either crank him back from here or roll over to your knees. Hands on the ground, leg up, adjust, make sure that you get it really snug right on the Achilles tendon, and then stretch back. I'll turn this way, please. So he puts the hand on the collar, has the leg up, turn your body sideways, back up your hip, bring the knee in, roll him over, the back leg goes over here. Push your foot on him and scoot your hip away. Look, this foot helps him to scoot my hip back. Bring the leg around, and either squeeze from here or roll over. Establish your base, put your hand on the ground, leg up, adjust his foot, and then arch back. So next time, boys. Turn your body sideways, protect the neck, protect the elbow in so there's no arm lock. Put your hand on his foot, bring the knee under, push the guy away, scoot your hip back and bring your foot over. This hand goes around, securing the ankle, way down the Achilles tendon, and either stretch him back or roll over, hand on the ground, leg up, and arch back. Remember, these techniques are very dangerous. Be protective to your partner.